Good morning, students. Now, today I am going to start your financial planning fourth lesson. All of you will learn what is tax and before GST how the tax is levied on a goods and service. That in ninth standard we learn, students. Now in the 10th standard today just I am giving you the introduction and important concept which are some are in your textbooks, some are not there. Then also it is important because in a daily life we are using this nowadays. Whatever we are after purchasing a product, what is GST, everyone should know, and that's why in detail I am going to explain you. Okay, students. Now in this lesson we have to see about the basic as well as calculation, means how the GST is calculated and it is levied on goods and services both. Now students, see that a GST is an indirect tax which has replaced the many indirect taxes in India. Before GST we paid so many taxes, so that is reduced and only one tax came in a market, and that is GST. Okay, the Good and Service Tax Act was passed in the Parliament on 29th of March 2017. This is just some 2-3 sentence as a history. The act came into effect on 1st July 2017. Means from 1st July 2017 it is effected in a market in India. Okay, so goods and service tax law in India is comprehensive, multi-stage, destination based, and that is levied on every value addition. Just it is levied on every value addition. Now in a simple words, goods and service tax, that is GST, is an indirect tax levied on the supply of goods and services. This law has replaced many indirect tax law that previously existed in India. Means previously before 1st July 2017, so many multiple taxes we are paid to the government, and that tax is reduced by the one indirect tax, that is GST. GST is one indirect tax for the entire country. In whole country it is same. So before goods and service tax, the pattern of the tax levy was as follow. Is as see in the diagram. Diagrammatically I am going to explain you. Now see here. What before goods and service tax, how the pattern it was there. Okay, now see, buying a raw material, again VAT we are paying. After that again manufacturing, here also we have to pay the VAT plus excise duty. Okay, then sell to wholesaler and warehousing, again we have to pay a VAT. Then sell to retailer, again means every stage it is a multi-stage, is it? So on every stage we are paying, means all this VAT is at last come towards the consumer. Consumer means what? Customer. At last this all the VAT is paid by the customer only, and therefore it is a multiple stage indirect tax we paid before GST. Now how the GST, after the GST, when GST came, then how it will change, we have to see. So under the GST regime, the tax is levied at every point of a sale. In case of intrastate sale, central GST and state GST are charged. Means there is intra means within a state. Okay, so interstate sales are chargeable to the integrated GST. Now see, by one example I will explain again, though, so don't worry. Now let us try to understand the definition of goods and service tax. Is a comprehensive, multi-stage, destination based that is levied on every value addition, which is very important point, a value addition. If you understood the value addition, then definitely you will get a clear idea about the goods and service tax. Okay, so firstly we will see the concept of multi-stage. What is meant by the multi-stage? Now see, there are the multiple changes of hands and the atom goes through along its supply chain from manufacturer to the final consumer. Means whenever we are purchasing a product from the shop, actually that shopkeeper purchase from the seller, that seller purchase from the wholesaler, that wholesaler purchase from the distributor, and the distributor purchase from the company. So up from company means manufacturer to consumer, so many multiple stages are there. Okay, let us consider the following: purchase of raw material, production and the manufacture. What they are doing? Manufacturing, they firstly they purchasing the raw material. On raw material, what they are doing? They are producing a product, means in a manufacturer. Then warehousing of finishing a good, means some finishing, giving in the warehousing. Again sale to the wholesaler. After that goods is ready, then it is sold to the wholesaler. Then that sale of the product to the retailer. Wholesaler will sell to the retailer, and that retailer will sell to the consumer. So these different multiple stages are there in between the manufacturer and the consumer. And before GST, on this every stage the VAT was there. But now when the GST came, this VAT is just on a value addition. Here also raw material, buying raw material, then manufacturing, sale to the wholesaler, then to the retailer, and it will come to the final consumer. But good and service tax is levied on every stage, which makes it a multi-stage tax, and therefore this GST is also a multi-stage tax. Then what is the difference between the before situation and now GST? The difference is that the GST is levied on just a value addition. Now what is value addition? See this diagram, a simple diagram I am explaining you. Here it is a flour and sugar. Okay, from that flour and sugar we are preparing a manufacturer preparing a biscuits, and that biscuits that is warehousing, they are giving a label, and then that is prepared for the selling. So if for example the flour and sugar having a price of 1000, so firstly the GST is calculated on this 1000 value. Then the biscuit, after producing a biscuit, the price of this is 1500. So in the next stage how much value is added? 500. So that GST is calculated just on the 500, and before GST the VAT is calculated on 1500, and that is the difference between the income tax and GST. Okay, now next in the next slide also one example is there, in that you will clear your idea. Now see, the manufacturer who make the biscuit buy the flour, sugar, other material. The value of the input increase when the sugar and flour are mixed and baked into the biscuit. Is it? The manufacturer then sells the biscuit to the warehousing agent who pack the large quantity of biscuit and label it. That is another addition of a value. Just I said now before, the raw material is flour and sugar. So what is the value? 1000. After baking a biscuit, what is the value? 500. Again it is added. So addition value is 500. But actual product value is 1500. Is it? Again, after giving a labeling, 200 again value is added. So total actual value of this product is 1700. Okay, and then last after finishing it, so actually your biscuit pack is ready to sell and the value addition is 100, means total it is 1800. So 1000 to 1800, but every says some value only added, and that on that value only we are paying a GST, not on a total value. जो वैल्यू ऐड हो रही है सिर्फ उसके ऊपर हम जीएसटी पे कर रहे हैं. इसके पहले हम क्या करते थे, पूरी टोटल वैल्यू के ऊपर हम जीएसटी पे करते थे. ओके, टू एग्जाम्पल ऑल्सो देयर. सो ऑन इन नेक्स्ट स्लाइड table is there, you will get the clear idea about the tax. So this GST is levied on the value addition, that value added at each stage to achieve the final sale to the consumer. Now which are the advantages of GST? A GST has mainly removed the cascading effect on the sale of goods and services. Removal of cascading effect has impacted the cost of good. Since the GST regime eliminates the tax on the tax, the cost of goods decreases, and GST is also mainly technical, logically driven. So all these activities like registration, return filing, application, refund and response to notice need to done online on the GST portal. This accelerate the processes. So this is the extra information, means when the budget proposal came, how it is calculated. So this you have to just, these are the important points. So this point just you have to note down in your notebook, and this is not in your syllabus, just this is for the more information I am going to explain you. So GST, what actually advantages of GST, point wise see here. Removing cascading effect, higher threshold the registration, composition scheme for the small business, online simple procedure under the GST, laser compliances, defined treatment for e-commerce, increase the efficiency in the logistic, and regulating the unrecognized sector. So all these are the advantages of GST. Now what are the most important component of GST? The important component of GST are three, that is CGST, SGST and IGST. Then what is this CGST, SGST and IGST? CGST means the collected by the central government. Whatever the amount we are paying GST, it is collected by the CGST, that is a central government, on intrastate, that is transaction happening within a Maharashtra, within a state. Intrastate I told no, within a state. Then for example 5% GST is on any product, so 2.5% goes to the CGST and 2.5% goes to the SGST. CGST means central government, SGST means a state government. And when it will happen, when it is an intra-state sale. It is very important, don't be confused. Intra-state means within a state, means from Nagpur to Pune. Nagpur is also within the Maharashtra, Pune is also in a Maharashtra state. So when this transaction is done within a state, then we are paying the GST, that is distributed in the CGST and SGST, means half is collected by the state government and half amount is collected by the central government. Then what is IGST? It is a integrated GST. Integrated means interstate, means one state to another state. For example, Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu, means I am purchasing a product from Tamil Nadu. Maharashtra state, any city it is purchasing from the other state, then it is in interstate sale, and this is collected by totally central government. अगर आपका बिजनेस एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में स्टेट के साथ अगर हो रहा है, तो जो भी जीएसटी हम पे कर रहे हैं वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हो जाता है. So today I am going to stop here. All these points and concept you have to note down in your notebook, and the illustration tomorrow I will explain with the example. Okay students.